Hello, all greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I am called to return here. I may do a break because I have to handle certain situation. Spirit says to let go of those situations. The solution will find itself, and all those corrupted things that are happening will be solving themselves in a year or two naturally. But I'm trying to protect my heart because this thing may be some kind of conspiracy to get a hold of all my heart, and God says that it's protected, that my hour has come. Talks about champagne, talks about celebration, talks about freedom, it talks about vacation, it talks about work, it talks about exhibition, it talks about all kinds of things. So I should trust my I am presence, although the oppression keeps coming in from the outside. It's just I have to remain serene and above it all, and so I'm working on that. And so yet I may have to do a little break because I feel like I'm talking about abundance, but I'm not able to manifest it yet. I've created all those paintings, but I can't even sell them yet. And I wrote a great book, but I can't publish it yet. So it's like, what is my credibility within this process? I know that what I'm talking about is very valuable and very serious, and I know all my art will have a strong function within the future of society. Spirit says it's like imminent now, so it's like I shouldn't worry about those things. But we came here and we were given free will. Free will is something that's beautiful originally. It's like the total freedom to do anything we want. But free will without wisdom, without love, it's completely created all this insanity, all those illness, all those the famines, and the people living in poverty. And it's like, because of free will, some people that taken control of the matrix. And it's not about money, but they are it's about power. The power, they can only see the power of being who they are in relationship to the misery they can inflict on others, the power they can inflict on others, and they're keeping to make it but there is a great awakening that is happening. So this free will is to choose love or to choose fear, to separate and dominate, or to include and elevate. And so, but in a sense, even those that are working for the dark, it should be for ourselves, for anything. For we all are made of every state. We have the dark and light within ourselves. Some people have dominant darkness, and some people have dominant light. But we should include and send love and light to all beings. No blame, no shame, no regrets, no fear, and no doubt, if possible. We should stay focused with this freedom that is given. The more freedom we are given, the more responsibility we have to manage. And so it's like we are being prepared. For 3D is about fear, and 5D is about love. So it's about moving into this new frequency to turn into our soul, our creatorship aspect, in order to raise our frequency. So it is a process for now until it's happening. We are in between those 3D and 5D. We're in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is an ethereal realm where it's very polarized. There is all the darkest nightmare and all the most beautiful dream. We have to choose those beautiful dreams, and in order to evacuate all of the nightmares. Regardless, it's the society, most 99% of the society is implicated within the darker, lower aspect of self. So it's a very big challenge for a very long time. To defend the truth was like implied to be persecuted. There was the Inquisition. There was all kinds of things that whoever tried to bring the truth was persecuted for it. And it's like the more truth we are trying to bring. I think it was George Orwell, with the magnificent, the most important book, 1984. Don't watch the movies if you don't know this book, 1984. It explains all the powers of manipulation, how people can be turned into slaves, to become submissive to external power. And so one of his wisdom, he says the more someone try to bring a truth into ignorance, the more the opposition will be strong. Then eventually everything becomes common sense at the end. The light becomes common sense. But at the beginning, bringing new truth is very radical. It's very it's shocking to the consciousness, but it's still our mission to do that. For we have this manifested self. So it's about bringing this balance. For me, I will not be happy until I retrieve the totality of my memory. Spirit is asking me to run. But my knee is really hurting, and I can barely walk, so I'm still doing it, but it's really painful. For I know it is by exercising, by getting out of all these toxins, that I will clear up my physical body, and I will return to my power, to my center, to my God self, and I will. So it is about retrieving all this memory of who we are. For, I mean, it's important to do what you can to get enough sleep and rest, to rest as much as possible. I'm sleeping very little because of the different condition, but it's like this is really it's still very important to get as much natural rest as possible, to know that love has won sooner or later. All those things for this society has been created on lack, but it will move into this eternal freedom, for it is to where everybody is included, where everybody is equal, everybody can enjoy the fruits of life and the freedom that comes along from being free from all restriction and limitation from the material world. It's just this society has been brought on, this is created with the haves and the have-not. So we want to, in a sense, I feel even if I'm being stressed out financially right now, it's like I'm still part of those who have. For I have both of my hands, I have my eyes, I have a roof, I have enough food. So I have, but there are millions of people that don't even have that. So it's completely. I'm not saying you can do anything directly to change that. You have to elevate yourself and find guidance from your God self, and from there, people will become this love and light will snowball and create a snowball effect, and will naturally adjust to the fact where we can include everybody and create this more balanced civilization. For Plato it's natural, we have to create the possibility for everybody to be socially elevated, which is not happening in France. This is no longer happening. It used to be happening in the 20th century. Now it's no longer happening. There's blockages. Plato explains that every slave wants to be free. Every free person wants to become a citizen. Every citizen wants to become a rich man. Every rich person wants to become a governor. Every governor wants to become a king, and every king wants to become a god. It is part of our DNA to look for this ascension, this process of evolution. But those who have created the blockage will eventually be removed, and so from there everything will find its natural balance. So we have to pray and continue to work on our own inner light, for we are made of all things. We are the creator, we are one, and the key words for the day is unity, for we have to become one with it all, to have the light that is dominating over the darkness. That's all it is about. So that because we all have a dark part, and part of ignorance and a part of lucidity, and it's like a yin and yang, and sometimes it is the dominant part comes from the dark, and sometimes the dominant part comes from the light, and it is a wheel that is turning until all is integrated and released. We all have soul contract, and those soul contracts, everything is perfect within the soul contract, because it is teaching us whatever lessons, or it's showing us whatever thing we need to know in order to integrate whatever we need to integrate in relationship to our eternal career as a creator in the future. But sometimes we do not see or perceive that everything is perfect. For God is the master of the plan. Whenever God wants something to change, it will change naturally. And so we want to be ready to receive. We want to stay close to our desires, stay close to that which is wanted, and Spirit can assist and bring this co-creative, powerful energy into the picture once we are in the receptive, in the joy mode. For we are asking, and we are asking for certain thing, and there is a time delay in this dimension before we receive. In the higher plane, you ask and you receive immediately. So that is the point, to integrate that point where we can actually create instantaneously. But I'm still feel that I'm not completed with my process. So sometimes I feel, am I really credible to come here and speak about those things? I'm being sincere, and I know there's great value in what I'm saying, but since I'm not, I have thousands of paintings, I cannot sell them. I have a book that I might have said that, but so it's like I want to create those changes, and I may have to make a break in those videos and come back when I feel that I have already achieved certain things I'm trying to achieve. And so unless Spirit is asking me to come back. But what I meant to say is that between the time we ask and the time we receive, there is a gap here in the third dimension, and the idea is to create a space where it's fun, when life is enjoyable in between. So that shorten the gaps, because the gap is very important. There is a gap, and this gap has to be filled with joy, and so that allows Spirit to accelerate the process of manifestation. So that's what we're working on, understanding that things will get easier as heaven comes closer to us. It's a very slow process, but slowly but surely heaven is getting closer to us. And finally, I wanted to bring two little ideas. Is one that is about the history. Eventually we'll come to realize that what the history that we've been taught, that we are taught, is not the true history of the planet. There was a very advanced civilization that lived on this planet, and originally there was this great civilization of Mu. knew was the mother. It was a great civilization that was fully integrated. It was beautiful. It lasted for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And eventually an experiment was made to separate the divine masculine from the divine feminine. And two civilizations were created, the Lemurians and the Atlantean. The Lemurians were more feminine and the Atlantean were more masculine, and everything was beautiful. There was golden age for a very long time. Everything worked fine. Eventually this patriarchal domination energy used technology and destroyed Lemuria of Atlantis. So the Lemurians came into the inner earth and created Agartha, this inner world civilization, and then eventually Atlantis was destroyed in three phases. The second one being the Great Deluge in 17,500 years ago. That was the Bible, and the Bible is about 15,500 BC. And the final phase in 12,500 BC, there was the final destruction of Atlantis. In those 5,000 years of history, there was the end of Atlantis, and at the end, the society of Atlantis was divided between this feminine matriarchal society with the prize scientist of Atlara in the island of Poseida, and there was this matriarchal, militarist, and corporatist civilization of Aryan, with the Aryan and the sons of Belial in the island of Og, who controlled the instrument of production. And eventually the Aryan took control of the technology of the Atlara and created this total destruction of the civilization, and then we had to restart from scratch, become cavemen, we fall from the fourth dimension to the third dimension. And now but all those memories will be re-emerging, and so it is important to allow that, to remember those memories is everything. Once we remember who we are truly. And I also wanted to say there's many angels and archangels that incarnated in physical bodies to assist the planets. But we have most of the main core of our origin is either galactic or celestial. But there is a lot of beings that are incarnated in wells, in situation. There are archangels that are incarnated in situation of great wells to assist the planet. But they saw the program was so difficult that they remain within their comfort zone. They have let go of this idea of programmation, that they have a mission to do here. And so rather than using their power and influence for assisting the light worker communities, they're just continuing they stayed within their comfort zone and live their life independently. So the planet is right now, and the spirit of the universe trying to awaken all those forces. For those who have all the means in their disposal, should be more inclined to participate in this new age movement than what they are. For right now, they feel like they don't really want to participate. But if they don't, they will fall into the third dimensional program, and we want to keep to reactivate all the potential. For there's great people in every state of society, every level. There is this great power of the light and the power of the darkness in every sphere. God has placed this duality principle within this duality matrix. So, and we are made of that state, so we have to return to unity. Unity is the message of the day. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. Did I pull some cards? I'm going to pull some cards with the card of the angels. I'm facing some very challenging things, so I don't want to make those messages heavy. I hope I'm not. I may have to make a break from it. The highest wisdom for us today is humility, to stay humble and to be surrounded, to let go of all, to let go as much as possible the desire to fight the darkness, for there is no need to fight the darkness. In a sense, sometimes I feel I have to respond to this aggression I'm getting here and to protect myself. But in a sense, God is already there. So it's like, for me, it's like what we need to understand is revelation. Everything is being revealed in due time. When we're ready, we receive the revelation, we receive the information. What we need to do is to be indulgent, not to be too severe in relationship to all those things. For everybody is a child of God, no matter what their mission, their function, their role. Shakespeare said it's only a role that we play here. It's like when you go see a play and there's some people are playing good guys and bad guys. Even those who are playing the bad guys, or in a movie, they're not necessarily bad people. They're like, every soul is divine. It's just that they're fulfilling a function in relationship to a script. And so, but then in life we still have to face whatever. I'm still recommending you to always stay on the good side, on the light side, on the soft side, and the outcome will be a triumph. So it's like there is this triumphant energy that's right around the corner. So it's like really no reason to worry or to get in any way, shape or form. There will be a triumph of the light. The paintings behind me, this is a nude that was in 2005, 5 and 2006. I took some class because I couldn't bring models, nude models into where I was living. So it was at l'École des Beaux-Arts, the school of art here. They were right down from my house. They had a room where once a week I used to go for like 3 hours, and it was a drawing class, but I did paintings myself, and I did hundreds, dozens and dozens of nudes and portraits, and some of them are really, really refined. I'm selling those right now for about 1,200 euros. Papers. There will be, I'm gonna, as soon as I open my gallery, there will be more around 12,000, and as soon as I can put the marketing on, some of them could be worth fortunes. So if you're interested in art, for when you buy an art, you have to buy only what you love. You have to love something to buy it. Otherwise, buying art just for investment will not be sensitive. But it's still a culture. You have to know enough to appreciate the idea of buying art. But those people who bought Picasso's in 1905. Their descendants are really happy, or those 1900, those who bought Van Gogh's paintings that they were worth very little. Now they're very, very happy. So art is a really tremendous investment if you can believe in that and invest in what you love, and don't invest for investment in art. For art. And most of the people that will invest in my art is because they will feel that this is specific art, this is sacred art. So it's about bringing some of this energy so they can interact with this energy, and it's very specific. So it's difficult because it's very avant-garde in relationship to what is shown in the contemporary market. Yet there is this great awakening, this new renaissance that is emerging. And so I do believe there is an essential function to what I'm doing, and my art will find its place eventually will be. Spirit has shown me that I will sell my art for food. Some of my paintings will sell for millions at auctions. So it's I'm very, very confident in terms of that. It's just a matter of time, and so I'm hoping that this will be sooner than later. This painting is a Stargate, so it's beautiful. I really like it. It's there's this great big eye and the stars, and behind there's the central universe, and inside the Stargate there's the great central sun, the sun here. And there's the tree of life on this side. It's the Simon Dede, Gilles, 2018. Here there is those spirit guides that are watching in front of the Stargate, and then this couple making love here on the bottom. It's an interesting painting. I'm going to finish with a song. It's a song that shows that speaks of the ephemerality of life. Everything is ephemeral. I want to recommend a book that talks about that. It's from Marcus Aurelius. It's called The Thoughts for Myself. I'm sure you find it in audiobook. It's about this. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor. He was born in the power, and he died as an emperor. So all his life he knew he was born to rule over men, but he was the Platonic ideal of he was both a philosopher and a king. He was wise, he was kind, he was with everybody, and so. So I recommend also to read the manual of Epictet. He was his master. He was from the time of Julius Caesar. Epictet was a slave that was made free, and he wrote this Stoic masterpiece. The manual of Epictet gives all kinds of amazing wisdom, and then listen to or do it in audiobook. On book is the Thought for Myself from Marcus Aurelius. One of the things that he explained is that because he tuned into these inner guides, and at the end of his life he was wounded in a battle for Rome. Was they were into this expansion, and he said this. He writes in his book, I'm writing this book in a language that is not mine. He wrote it in Greek rather than Latin, and this book was supposed to be destroyed after his death, but by some kind of magic miracle, this book survived, and so we have this wisdom. It's an amazing book, and one of his thoughts was his inner guide. He tuned into the inner guide. He was channeling his inner guide. His inner presence was telling him, no matter what you believe is important, all those people, all those situations, in one moment of eternity will be just dust. Everything will have turned into dust. Everything will be replaced by something else. So whatever we think is so important in reality is very little. It means very little in relationship to the whole cycle of eternity. It's just a passing phase, and everything is a passing phase. The good and the bad just passing through. We're just passing through those experiences, And the more we are able to tune in to the lesson that things are teaching us, the greater our destiny will become after this life, when we move back into the cosmic and celestial level of realization, where we'll be for all is serving our soul on the higher plane. And so just be grateful, be as grateful as possible for your existence, and embrace each and every moment. So it's a song, it's a beautiful song from Kansas called "Dust in the Wind." I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams passed before my eyes, a curiosity, dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. Now don't hang on, nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away, and all your money won't another minute by. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind, everything is dust in the wind. Thank you very much. I hope this message was interesting for you. I will come back to you if I'm called for. Otherwise, I will return to you when I've completed some of my process and move into the new state of manifestation. So I will feel a lot better about continuing this message about self-empowerment for heal thyself. Starting with I have to apply all those things I'm trying to teach on myself, and so but it's all in the works, and I know everything I'm talking about here is very serious. So if I'm called to return, I will return no matter what the situation may be. And so I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.